a conversation now with L&T. And yesterday we heard that very interesting announcement from the infrastructure giant. L&T is now all set to pick up a 21% stake for about 1,400 crore rupees in E2E Networks. Now, E2E Networks is a cloud computing solutions player, and it also counts Nvidia as one of its key business partners. Let's talk about what the rationale and the thought process here is. We have with us Hasit B Joshipura, advisor to the CMD, Data Center Cloud Services and Innovation Fund, L&T, joining in. Mr. Joshipura, great to have you on. And I think that's really the question on everyone's mind, a lot of your shareholders as well, why are you looking at an AI or a cloud services company, at the parent entity level? I mean, if L&T Tech was talking about it, we'd still understand. What's the rationale? And then you've picked up a small stake. You haven't bought out the whole company. So what's really the thought process?
Yeah. Hi, good morning. Thanks, Surabhi. Well, you see, I don't know whether you're aware, but one of our key initiatives has been to get into the data center business. And, we actually exist across the value chain. In that sense, we are pretty unique that we build, many of the data centers in the country with one of our businesses. We actually run data centers for some public entities, meaning as operators. And we also provide managed services through our IT services company. So in that sense, it was logical for us to get into the data center space as well. Now, 3.5 years ago, when we actually embarked on this, the demand was for co-location services. And just in a matter of 3.5 years, I think this is a very dynamic space. It's moved to demand for vanilla cloud. And from there now, as you know, the talk is all about GPU cloud and AI. And therefore, if we have to provide these services to our data center clients, it makes sense for us to have a strategic partnership. So that's the rationale, and also the rationale for it to be in our parent entity and not in the IT services.
Mr. Joshipura, good morning.
Yes.
Prashant here.
Yes,
What is the sort of revenue from data centers right now? I mean, obviously, as a percentage of overall L&T numbers, it'll be small. But what is it right now? Because you build, you operate, you manage.
Yeah. See, those are all under different businesses.
Okay.
And therefore it gets sub-served. So, for example, our buildings and factories business actually builds the data centers. The operations of the data centers are conducted by what used to be Smart World and Communication. And the IT services companies do the managed services bit. So that's difficult to tease out. But our data center business, we commenced on, first with almost like a proof of concept with a 2 megawatt space in Panvel. And now we have about 30 megawatts, which is up and running, and out of which 12 is live already near Chennai. And we're just starting to fill it. So I think by the end of this year, we will be able to share revenue numbers.
How does E2E work with Nvidia? Because I remember when Mr. Jensen was in town, the Nvidia CEO on stage, actually, the only company he mentioned on stage was E2E.
Yes.
What's the relationship? How do they work?
Yeah, actually, it's not just in India. When they had this meeting in the US as well, this AI meeting, even there he mentioned, when the Prime Minister was there, he mentioned that they have a partnership with E2E. So essentially what they do is they provide them preferential allotments, because currently, as you know, for the H100 and now even Blackwell, there is a long waiting list. And what E2E gets is a preferential allotment.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Joshipura. A couple of quick questions here from a stock market perspective. One is, how do you come to the valuations? Because it seems rather high. I agree, there could be tremendous potential of the business, but you're not paying top dollar. So that's point number one. And the second factor is, why not do a complete buyout?
Okay, so, Nvidia has become the most valuable company. So how do you justify a valuation like that? And essentially, you know this better than I do. But when you talk about technologies which are going to sort of evolve in the future, you would really have to look at valuations in the context of the value that they're going to deliver. So that's the piece on valuation. Why 21%? Because at this stage, we are really looking at a strategic partnership. We don't want to buy out the company and integrate with us. And also, I think, to keep it at an arm's length so that they are more nimble in terms of further developments.
But in the time to come, will you look at taking a larger chunk in it, or will you keep it separate, keep it at 21%?
That's a separate discussion, and I don't want to speculate at this stage, and that's something which the board of the company will have to decide.
No, but to just press on that point, sir, we're not asking you about, whether 21 goes to 30 or 40. That I don't think you're answering right now. But is this the start of something new? Would you be looking at more such high-end AI/GPO cloud-enabled service providers and sort of build that service line in-house itself? Will we see more of this from L&T at the parent level?
Yeah, so I mean, probably this is not widely known. We have something called an innovation fund. And the purpose of that innovation fund is really to invest in startup businesses which have technologies which are evolutionary to L&T's businesses. And there we don't buy out the company. We take a small stake with a board seat, and which then allows us to participate and drive the direction of the development of the technology as well as adopt it if necessary. And I think in that sense, this is a model which is somewhat similar to that we are doing with E2E.
All right. We'll leave it there, sir. Thank you very much. And I hope this is the first of more conversations on this as we go along. Appreciate you joining us here on CNBC-TV18 this morning. Thanks very much. Okay, that's Mr. Joshipura and the sort of data center business. And very interesting, E2E gets preferential access to Nvidia's latest chips, including the latest Blackwell, as Mr. Joshipura said. Well.